Hey everyone, welcome to Being Youthful. I am Kim Biegler. If you're tired of hearing me say that, I'm so sorry. I feel like I have to say it every time because new people find this channel all the time. So apologies if you're returning, but if you're new, I am Kim Biegler. I'm the owner of Ewethful Fiber Farm and Mill, and I am sitting here in the mill today in Halsey, Oregon. It has been a long day that seems to keep getting longer, but you know what? I'm here. So thank you for joining me. And if you're new, I talk a lot about wool. Today was a wool buy day, so I have some video from buying wool, and I've got a few mill videos as well as just a quick clip from the grass seed farm, which is what we do that actually feeds us. Thank you all so much. Before I forget, please don't forget to subscribe, to comment, whether you're listening or you are watching this on YouTube, whichever app you're using, wherever you're doing it, if you could please hit the like button, subscribe, do all the things. Lets them know that you like what I'm doing. So, okay, onward. It has been a day, y'all. So, before I forget, the biggest heart of all hearts to all of you and to all of the community that came to Mill Day this past weekend. I can't express to you how grateful I am for the community that has grown around the mill, because it's truly magnificent. This past Mill Day, it was like it was so overwhelming to me because we had a wonderful group of people, a lot of regulars, but new people keep popping in, which is always amazing. And they come back, which is even more amazing. It's just, I was like, my heart was so full as I was driving home from Mill Day that I was almost in tears, because the people that come to Mill Day and the people that wander through the mill are wonderful. They're just wonderful. And all of you in this community, I have met and become friends with so many of you, even if we've never met, one way or another we've connected. It's truly just, it's overwhelming to me at times, and it gives me, you all give me such inspiration and good feelings, for sure. So thank you to everybody who came to Mill Day. There is another one this month. I think it's September 23rd. If you're anywhere in the area, come on by. And for those of you out there in this community, whether, you know, whichever it may be, social media wise, feel free to comment, because I do love to engage with you all. I love to answer questions. I love to enable people to start hand spinning. And I also have my Patreon community, which is a really good way to be able to get face-to-face, because we do monthly Zooms where there's a group of us that meet up, and it's very low-key and very fun. And I also have monthly club, which is a whole nother way to reach me. So thank you so much, all of you, for your support. Onward. Enough of me being sappy, right? Okay, wool buy. I just got back from a wool buy. I'm at the mill. I went up to Salem, which is where, so I was at SilverCreek Lambscapes. It's owned by Maria Rooney. She is a spectacular breeder of Romney sheep, Coopworth and Horn Dorset. Spectacular. I've got some videos from in there, and I will show them to you. Just kind of like what it looks like when I show up to a wool buy at a shepherd's place that I know. Generally, it is kind of like how it is in this video, where there's a lot of wool and a lot for me to pick from. And it's fun. It's also overwhelming, and it's also expensive. So anyway, all of those things. I have to try to like budget, keep budget in mind always, because I want to pay the shepherds well, and I want to pay my bills also, right? And I have to buy the product, turn the product, and then produce it all so that you all want to buy the end product there. So anyway, Maria is fabulous. So we will go see her. I got some Horn Dorset fleeces, and I got some Romney fleeces, and I think a Coopworth or two. I just kind of picked out a selection. She does have a couple, I will show you the video of her show fleeces for sale. I did not buy them because I will show you in the video. They're so spectacular, but you'll see them in the video. And I am also even willing to help her out in moving them along, and to help you all out. I am willing, if somebody is interested in one of those fleeces, you can message me, and I will even get the fleece and cart it to roving for you. I could even just wash it But some of these fleeces, I don't know. I just think if I was going to process a fleece by hand, these would be some of the fleeces. So anyway, you'll see those in a little bit. It was really a lovely time to see her and to catch up. We always spend much more time talking than anything else. But that's the wool industry. Spinning wheel update. And I do have a Fiber Club update too. So if you're in Fiber Club, I will spoiler it all the way for you, but they're all in the mail. So hopefully by the time you see this, yours will be very close if you decide to watch. Okay, so spinning wheels. I am getting a flood of emails of people interested in spinning wheels and also spinning wheels that are coming my way. So bear with me if you have emailed me. I have not forgotten you. I'm trying to maintain some semblance of organization on my end as far as spreadsheets of who's looking, who's selling. A lot of the wheels I will be able to ship. So that is wonderful. I'm trying to keep them in the affordable range, and by affordable I mean, for those of you who don't know, right now I'd say the average price for a used spinning wheel is going to be somewhere in the $400 to $600 range for like a beginning style spinning wheel used. Some will be less. I have one or two that will be less at this moment. So reach out because you never know. I really want, if somebody really wants to learn to spin, I want to help you learn to spin. So, and if you get a used wheel from me, you will also be eligible for a discount on my upcoming course for beginners on how to learn to hand spin. So sweet. So keep the emails coming in. Soon enough, I will have an email list that you can sign up for, but we're working on that. So we're getting there, and I have wheels that are shipping currently, and it's very exciting. I'm having a lot of fun connecting wheels to their new owners. So that's great. So keep watching. Fiber Club, we get to talk about Suri alpaca, and I don't process a lot of Suri alpaca. Suri is the longer locked alpaca. So wakaya is generally what you see when you see an alpaca. It's what I've got. They have the shorter staple length, and it's not so silky is the best way to describe it in just non-fibery terms. I guess that is fibery, but whatever. Wakaya, and they tend to grow, you know, maybe 3 to 4 inches in a year. Suri can grow upwards of 11 inches in a year, and it hangs off of them in locks. I would say it is a harder fiber to grow and maintain a good quality fleece. There are not as many Suri alpaca, so you just don't come across really good Suri that often. I happened upon this Suri at a used art supply store, and somebody had donated their Suri alpaca wool to this art supply store, and it was a great quality. So I wanted to share it with you with Fiber Club. Spoiler alert, if you're in Fiber Club and you have not gotten it and you don't want to know, stop here. But if you do want to know, I have videos showing the process here coming up, but it is a Jacob wool and Suri alpaca blend. And I chose the Jacob because most people, I'm thinking in my Fiber Club, have spun Jacob wool before. I've had it in Fiber Club before. It's one of the easier wools to come across if you're looking at smaller mills or farms. And I decided to put it with the Suri for a couple of reasons. One, if you've spun Jacob, you will quickly be able to see what the difference of, I think this is a 25% Suri mix, what the Suri does to change your finished yarn. The second reason is because they were pretty similar in staple length. This Suri was not super long. I'm gonna say it was 3 to 4 inches. I've got some. So, and I wanted to show you good Suri versus stuff that I pulled out of the same blanket. That's what a alpaca fleece is called. Generally, it's called a blanket. So here is some of the Suri. Whoop, get it in the right place. You can see it has a beautiful luster to it. And it hangs. I mean, it hangs. It's a lot heavier in that regard than a wakaya. It's also heavier than your average wool. If you were doing like a Gotland or something, it could be along that same, but it's a pretty heavy fiber. And the way it hangs, guess what it's gonna affect? It's gonna affect the drape. yarn. So by adding 25% Suri to this Jacob wool, it's going to create a much drapier yarn, and it's going to add this luster to it, and it's going to add some softness to it too. So it's all these wonderful characteristics, and you can see it's got like these kind of wavy crinkles to it. And this is short for Suri. It can be significantly longer, but getting it to 11 inches and having it be a product that A, anybody can process, and B, is not like a matted mess, that's not easy to do. So you would want to be in a drier climate to have a Suri with that. I mean, it's just like any other creature. Okay, so here's our Suri that was fabulous. I want to show you some that I pulled out. And this was not like a big giant blanket, otherwise I would have showed you me skirting it in a different way. This is from the same fleece. So this is like guard hair, a big old, very clear. So it's not just the color. There was this color in this fiber. A lot of times guard hair will be lighter though. But you can see it's literally like, I mean, look at the difference. So that's from the same animal. This is guard hair. This is what you want. So as I was going along, these were getting pulled out. Some of them will have passed through because they're not always in these huge chunks like this that are so easy to pull out. A lot of times they can be sprinkled throughout the fleece, and there are people that will de-hair alpaca if it gets too hairy, but you can really see the difference there of those two fibers. Same animal, same fleece, just you don't want this in there. This is gonna spin up and it's gonna prickle the heck out of you. So, all right, finished product. You'll see it in the videos too, but let me grab a little hunk of it here out of the bin. But here is our, and I don't know, hopefully the light will catch it pretty well. Jacob, there we go. And it has, you can see there are like a lot of gray, because this was just me taking a Jacob fleece. I didn't separate out colors. It was probably heavier on the darker, but there's also all those grays in there and some whites. And then we added that fawn, that deep fawn alpaca to it. It spins up like a dream. That's the other thing that the alpaca is going to do to this fiber, is it's going to make it a little bit slicker to spin. So if you're a newer spinner, you wouldn't want to start with this because there's enough Suri in here. 25% Suri is going to change how this fiber spins pretty drastically from just being a Jacob. So anyway, there is our fiber club for whatever month it is. September? I think it's September. Okay, Suri alpaca. And Suri kind of runs the same gamut as far as the microns. It's, you know, it can be coarser. Obviously, there can be some really coarse parts to it, but it kind of runs the same as Wakaya. You generally are going to be in the 20s on a micron for Wakaya, obviously, or for Suri. Obviously, in all aspects, it can be significantly lower, meaning it's softer, and it can be higher. So there you go. There's a little bit about Suri. And if I can find a picture of a Suri alpaca, I will pop one in here. I don't think that I have one because I just don't come across Suri alpaca very often. Okay, so that's what's happening at the mill. I actually am getting ready. I'll show you when I'm in the back to see what else is going to be up on the carder here soon. It's not processed yet, but within the next probably week, it'll be processed. And some of this fiber, there is extra of this fiber, so I will get it up in the online shop fairly soon. Maybe even hopefully by the time this goes out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. I feel like those were the big things. I know I had more, but I had a list at home and then I had to leave at a certain time to get to the wool buy so that poor Maria wasn't spending all day waiting for me. So I did manage to have a donut too on this fabulous day. Right by her house is a farm store that has fresh made donuts, and they had raspberry, like the cake was raspberry, which is not my jam usually, but it was good. Anyway, I digress. To talk about donuts, I always will. Okay, so how about if we go to some videos? We're gonna look at some videos from Maria's place. I've got some mill videos from in the back. I've got a quick clip out on the grass seed farm on a lovely evening. And then I think I'll be back to say my fond farewell. Okay, enjoy. I will see you in a minute. Okay, here we are at the picker. I'm gonna turn it on and we have got Suri, alpaca, and down below what you can't see is Jacob. So I'm just going to pile it up. It's everything's been weighed out. I'm gonna get right in your face to get some Suri. Just opening a little bit of it up. And then it'll blend out in the picker for me. And we'll go see how that looks. Okay, here it is out of the picker, and you can see there's a little bit of static happening in here, so I'm gonna stop for the day. I only have like another pound to do, and it's not ideal. It's a little bit drier than I realized, but let's go over and you can see it. And something like this is great to see. See how that just looks really hairy? And that's because it is. So I'm gonna pull that out kind of in comparison to that. So even the Suri has different characteristics to it. Okay, let's move on to the carder. Okay, here we are at the carder with our Jacob Suri wool. Hopefully my microphone's hanging in there. And it's carding up really well. The Suri just enhances the carding on the carder. It just makes it, you know, a little slick, that's for sure. But like I said, I did these together because I knew the staple lengths were pretty good, and the Jacob is a little bit toothier, so I knew it would help keep us from losing too much Suri. Because what can happen is if a fiber is really slick, it doesn't want to hold together. Just like if you're spinning and a fiber is really slick, it wants to just slide past each other, right? So if I was doing 100% Suri on this machine, it would be very, very difficult to keep that Suri together. You could even add some wakaya, and that would help keep the Suri together, oddly enough, even though wakaya is not always easy to keep together on its own. So I knew the Jacob would keep us from losing a lot of the Suri along the way. So, and it was gonna be a great thing to add. So here is our going into the carder here. I'm gonna take you all off the tripod and we'll walk around and go see it coming out. Excuse me while I, whoop. Okay, whoop, that's a mess. Okay, so here we are, carding up. You can see the Suri, there's some Suri right there. And then let's go ahead around. You can see her in all her glory there, doing her magic, and I'm gonna pop around here the other side. And let me turn a light on. Okay, so you can see there's just different colors coming off. We've got the gray and whites in there, the natural color, darker Jacob, and then we've got the wakaya, which comes out in that red fawn. And this does make for a really beautiful, beautiful spin. It's gonna make a nice drapey yarn. It's gonna be gorgeous. So, there you go. Here it is coming off. Okay, I took my microphone off, but I want to show you some other things that are coming down the line in case you're interested. This is finally going to make its way onto the carder. This has been sitting here forever. It's not very much. I have more at home. I just haven't gotten there. But this is California Red, and you can see hairs in there. So that's a California Red. I've got more fleeces at home. That little bit may make it onto the carder before I do a clean, because my plan of action, which if you all want to hear how my brain works, is I am going to be running, after I finish this, I'll probably run another batch of dark Jacob, and then oddly enough, I will run this white Jacob. Let me pull back. So there'll be some white Jacob coming here pretty quick and a restock on the natural dark. And this is the white. I had enough. I have probably 4 pounds or so. So it's going to make its way into the online shop, as well as a restock on the dark. And I haven't had white in quite a while. So if you want white Jacob, that's where you go. So my idea is to end with the white Jacob, because then I'll do a full clean on the carder. Dark or white will have been the last thing to go through. A Jacob white, so it's not exactly white. And then this is the next thing to go, and I should have some extra to share with you all, because I just don't think I'm going to need the full 4 pounds. And this is, if I can get it open, which is proving more difficult one-handed than it should be probably. This is, oh my goodness, Kim. Utter beauty. That's what I call it. So this is some of the, let's see if I can get a different angle on it. South Country Cheviot that I purchased at Maryland Sheep and Wool. And so I think this will be one of the first things to go after I clean the carder down. I'm doing the light Jacob because that'll be the last thing on the carder before I clean it, in hopes that I can get as much of the dark stuff out as before that, basically. And white will have been kind of the last thing to go, but it's not a true white. So look at that. Oh my gosh. So this is the fleece I bought for myself, but it is very large and I want to share. So I probably won't let too much of it go, maybe a pound or so, but that is coming up. Then I've got a little teeny order for a friend that's going to go through, I think. And I just got some Horn Dorset on my wool fly. So if I keep some of that natural white, it will go around that time too. So anyway, these are how I think things through at the mill. You really are trying to go in a color scheme, because when you clean the carder out, you want to start back at white and run as much white or light colored as you possibly can before you start adding those colors in, that you could get some of that overlap. You know, you're always going to have few stray hairs. That's just the way it is. But okay, that's enough of my brain inside the wool mill for one day. Okay, see you in a minute. All right, you all, I'm bringing you along because I'm at Maria's place. We've been here before, but it's been a while since I actually recorded. And this is what it's like when I walk up to Maria's. And I'm like, I have a budget. And she's like, here's all the beautiful fleeces. Oh, hi, Maria.
Hi.
And so she's really excited that I'm making her be on camera again.
Well,
but she's a natural.
Oh, yes,
so let's talk about this fleece right here, because this has like every award on it, basically.
I know. It's actually, this sheep was named Hawaii, or is. I mean, she's still very much with us. And she herself was never beat. And
now, what does that mean?
That means at all the shows she went to, she was always champion.
Right.
And she was always, I mean, just feel the hand on that thing, though. It's just really nice.
No, it's...
and her fleece was never beat. So it went to... well, it went to Black Sheep, it went to the County Fair, and it went to State Fair. Yeah.
Woof! It is gorgeous.
It's really nice. I mean, it's super, super, super clean, too. So, she was covered and, you know, had all the best of
she's living the Hawaiian lifestyle.
Of SilverCreek.
Living up to her name.
And she was a quad, and she was out of a ewe that, was named Chloe, that gave me all kinds of champions. So she comes, the whole line is really, really good. And then those are variegated Romney.
See the color difference just in each lock there.
Yeah, pretty cool. This one also.
There's lots of champion fleeces sitting in front of me.
We can see what Doug Montgomery had to say. It took him a long time to judge. Oh, look. All top excellence. Nice.
Heck yeah, they were.
And he doesn't do that very often. So this must be a pretty nice one. This one's a little coarser, but really pretty.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, and it went to Black Sheep, too. And I think it was first there, too.
If anyone's falling in love with the fleece, you can always get in touch with me, and I can send you in the right direction, because these are stunning. Maria has some of the Well, obviously,
we've had
by the ribbons.
We've done
champion
it for a
fleeces.
while. This has definitely been going on for a while. So.
And she's never going to retire, thankfully.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we'll
right.
just have lots of beautiful runs.
Everybody seems to think that. I don't know. It's like I've had recently. I'm wondering.
All right, y'all. I'm going to move on and actually look at this wool.
Yeah.
And hi, baby. We didn't get to say hi to you on camera.
This is the farm whippet.
Every farm has to have a whippet.
It surely does.
All right. I'm going to shop now. I like the purples.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you all. So these are fleeces that if you are interested in, feel free to reach out and I will get you in touch with Maria. I am not going to buy them because when a fleece is this stunning, I don't want to, I think it just is better served to have somebody buy it and process it themselves as a fleece. This is one of her ones that natural colored white Romney. It is beautiful and it deserves to be hand processed and spun into something gorgeous. And Maria obviously could tell you all about them if you're in. One is epic, to say the least. Look at the purple with the color of the fleece. It's like they were made to be. I would just keep it like this on a shelf, maybe. This fleece, obviously, this is the one we were just talking about. It's for sale, and one of you, I'm sure, needs it. Here's a reserve champion, which is a beautiful place to be. Maria just told me red's not her color because that's second. Purple. All right, there's that one. And then there's a coupe over here.
Yeah,
a coupe worth that is. Here's our purple. Yeah. Blue's all right. We'll take blue.
Yeah.
Look at that. So this is a coupe worth. And the luster of it. Just stunning. So if anybody's interested in any of those, feel free to reach out because I do think some of these need to just go to that person that is going to take the time with them. And not blend them, which is what I'm going to do a lot of time.
Yeah, or, you know, if you just want to hand card or flick it or in the grease, you know, they'll all do in the grease. Awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people really enjoy that. So.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's a farm update. We're out here this evening. The dogs, I was going to take them for a walk, but Mitch got off early. It's kind of an in-between. So we brought the dogs out, and this is one of our bent grass fields, and you can see, I think you can see how those wheel lines are rolling a little bit at a time. So that's what we're doing. So this is how this field gets irrigated. This type of grass needs to be irrigated pretty hard. This is golf course grass, and so we're out here, and Mitch is out there. You can't really see him, but he's out there, and it's a really beautiful evening. It's cooling off, and it's just a nice place to be. And the dogs are running. There they are. They come out, blow their wad pretty quick. And this field, I believe, is a brand new field that got planted in the spring, I think. That's what I'm going with. So, it doesn't kind of look as uniform as a lot of the grasses that we grow at this point, but it'll be a beauty. Anyway, not a bad evening. Mitch is coming. Try not to get you guys sick. There he is. All right, I hope you enjoyed all of the videos. If you're listening, I will put a link to this episode from on YouTube. I will put it in the show notes, so you can click over if there's anything that you were listening to that you're like, no, I need to go see that for myself. Thank you all so much for joining me here, for joining me on all the socials. If you're in my Patreon or considering my Patreon, we have fun in there. It's very mellow, and there's different tiers, and I would love to see you in there, especially if you are looking for some extra help on spinning. It is a great way to reach me face-to-face, in essence. Right? Virtually face-to-face. So thank you all so much again for watching, for commenting. Please don't forget to subscribe wherever it is you're listening or otherwise. So Thank you. Until next time, stay healthy. Goodness, it sounds like it's getting a little complicated to stay healthy again, but stay healthy, be kind to all of your neighbors, and make so many pretty things. Until I see you next week. Okay, thank you.